Jamaicans, imagine a road that was built to bring you freedom and convenience, suddenly demanding a fee just to reach your own home. Well, for residents of Portmore in St. Catherine, that nightmare became a reality. Highway 2000 was supposed to be a symbol of progress, but it quickly became a story of betrayal, broken promises, and political theatrics. When Highway 2000 was first announced, it was hailed as a symbol of progress, a modern roadway that would ease traffic, shorten commutes, and connect communities like never before. The idea was exciting. Jamaicans had long dealt with congestion and slow travel between Kingston and St. Catherine, and here was a project that promised to change all that. But for the people of Portmore, the story quickly became less about progress and more about broken promises. Residents were repeatedly assured that the toll would not be placed at the main entrance of their community. Officials said that if a toll was necessary, it would be placed on Port Henderson Road, otherwise known as Back Road, so locals wouldn't have to pay just to reach their homes. The promise was simple. Portmore citizens would have options, and no one would be trapped into paying just to go about their daily lives. A reasonable expectation, right? But when time came to open the highway, things changed. The toll gate went straight to the front, right at the main entrance. Overnight, residents discovered that commuting to work, school, or even just running errands came with a price tag. A road meant to connect communities had now become a pay-to-enter system. The reaction was swift. Residents felt deceived and betrayed. They organized protests, held demonstrations, and staged a boycott of the highway that lasted for 2 months. People knew they had been promised one thing and delivered another, and they were not willing to accept it quietly. The outrage spread quickly, and the story became a national talking point. It revealed the stark contrast between political promises and the reality that citizens actually experience. What made the situation worse was how the promises had been presented. The People's National Party politicians were out on the ground, smiling and shaking hands with residents, confidently stating, quote, "The people of Portmore will never have to pay a toll to go home," end quote, and, quote, "This development is for the people, not against them," end quote. Words that sounded good in speeches and campaign events, but once the highway opened, those promises had evaporated. The toll plaza stood like a gatekeeper, reminding residents that the reality of governance doesn't always match the rhetoric of elections. The situation offered a harsh lesson in accountability. Jamaicans had learned that when the People's National Party makes promises, it is essential to read the fine print. Infrastructure, as the Portmore toll demonstrated, often comes with costs that ordinary citizens are expected to bear, sometimes without warning. Residents had to shoulder the financial burden and the emotional toll of feeling misled. For months, the community's resistance was a statement. Fairness and transparency should not be optional, even when politics gets in the way. Now, looking back, the irony of it all is striking. The People's National Party got their photo opportunities, their speeches, and their talking points. They could claim victory in the media and in public events. Meanwhile, ordinary people got the bill. The highway, intended as a symbol of freedom and connectivity, became a daily reminder of promises unkept. Lines like, quote, sacrifice today for a better tomorrow, or soon and very soon the people will see the benefit, sounded inspirational at the time. But years later, some were still waiting to see that promised benefit materialize. Fast forward to today, and the political cycle brings those old patterns back into focus. Once again, promises are being made about improving infrastructure, easing burdens, and delivering development. And
my
yet,
fellow Jamaicans, I pledge to you that the government that I will lead will be one that is accountable to the people, that listens to the people, that is transparent in how we operate, and that ensures that the resources of the people are used solely for the benefit and upliftment of the people.
And yet, when you remember Portmore, it's hard not to ask, better for whom? Because history shows that when the People's National Party promises relief, it often comes with caveats, loopholes, or delays that place the burden squarely on the people. This is where the contrast becomes clear. Under the Jamaica Labour Party, while no government is without flaws, there has been a sustained effort to deliver real infrastructure that benefits ordinary citizens. Roads have been expanded, bridges upgraded, and communities connected in ways that improve daily life, not just appearances. The focus has been on tangible results, projects that are completed, accessible, and maintained, rather than promises that vanish once the cameras are gone.
We will double the minimum wage from $16,000, what we have carried it to now, having almost tripled it, to $32,000. If you buy your first house, and let's say 5 years after you outgrow it, you have a family and you have children and you need another room, what we are saying to you is that you must sell that house back to the NHD and we will give you access to a second benefit from the NHD so that you can upgrade the house that you bought before.
The Portmore told story is more than just a historical footnote. It's a reminder that leadership is measured not by speeches or smiling for photographs, but by actions that consistently improve people's lives. Residents of Portmore and Jamaicans everywhere learned that relying on promises alone can be costly. Progress, when it is real, requires accountability, planning, and a willingness to make decisions that are sometimes difficult but ultimately serve the public interest. As the election season unfolds, it's worth remembering this history. Political rhetoric is easy. Infrastructure that actually works is hard. Leadership is not about flashy statements. It's about delivering outcomes. The people deserve development that is reliable, fair, and built with their interests at heart. They deserve roads that reduce travel time rather than adding hidden costs. Bridges that connect communities rather than isolate them. And a government that fulfills promises rather than just announces them. But at the end of the day, Jamaicans deserve more than toll gates at their front doors and empty assurances from politicians seeking applause. They deserve a government that builds without betrayal, develops without deception, and delivers without disclaimers. And that, ultimately, is the difference between promises that vanish and progress that lasts. If you want more in-depth analysis of Jamaica's politics, infrastructure, and stories that really affect our communities, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join the conversation in the comments. Also, share your experiences. Has your community faced anything similar?
That rule the thing. Yeah. Labor right, we say. We don't know who name Mark Golding. God no. Who is Mark Golding? It's nothing. Nothing at all.
The story of the Portmore toll isn't just history. It's a mirror reflecting how promises can vanish while the cost falls on ordinary people. Jamaicans deserve progress that lasts, not toll gates at their front doors. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and demand accountability. Because when leadership fails, it's the people who pay. So choose Jamaica. Vote the Jamaica Labour Party. Thank you for watching.
The persons that are living out of the community, let us know them. Let us call them. Let them come and put the X beside the bell. Put the X beside the bell. Put the X beside the bell. Put the X beside the bell.